Starring.
The Facts of Life is one of America's favorite TV shows for 9 years, 1980, 1989. And we watched Blair, Joe, Natalie, and Tootie grow up and seek some sound advice from the house mother, Mrs. Garrett, while they were boarders at this private girls' school. Well, we have Mrs. Garrett and Blair. And what have they been up to all these years? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Charlotte Ray and Lisa Whelchel. I heard that you guys get together often to see each other. Are you still close?
Yes, we are. We feel very close. They were over at my house for lunch when I saw Tucker, that's Lisa's little boy, the most handsome little boy you ever saw, regular fella. And she had her little second child in the oven at the time. And
now we see each other, and I have the third child in the oven.
Yes, isn't that wonderful?
So you are married to
Steve Cobble.
All right.
Regular guy, works at a church in California, not an actor.
And you have 2 children and one.
Right.
I'm assuming that's a maternity thing.
Yes.
Great, great, absolutely great. In the episodes, though, there was one where they wanted you to lose your virginity, and you said no.
Yes. Well, I did. You know, so many of the young girls watched our show, and they really did listen to us. They looked up to us. They listened to Mrs. Garrett, and you know, I wasn't going to take that responsibility, because even if they said, well, we'll have a lot of people on there saying no, don't. You know, so much of television is just by, you know, just by example, and this is okay, and girls do this. It is condoning it, whether it's, you know, subliminal or not. And so I didn't want to, you know, that responsibility on my shoulders with so many young girls, because it does bring a lot of destruction, you know, to a lot of young girls, and that wasn't why I started acting in the first place.
Lisa, are you acting now?
No, I'm not.
You're mommy? The role is mommy?
Being a mom, it's full time.
Hooray for that! I just wanted to say that so many people seem so embarrassed when they say they want to be a housewife, they're just going to be a housewife and a mother. And I don't understand why they feel that way, because that's the most wonderful role in life. And I don't know why they should feel ashamed.
Every intention was to go back to work. But now, especially that my son is too, I'm realizing that I mean, if I want to instill in him the values that I think are important, then I have to do it every day, every hour, and not leave it up to somebody else to do it.
Charlotte, speaking of values, Charlotte, you were also with the kids were on Facts of Life, and a lot of those kids got into trouble. What is the difference between the Facts of Life kids didn't get in trouble and the Different Strokes kids did? What was the difference?
Well, I'm just going to change the subject, because it's too difficult to say, really.
No, I'm not.
They were wonderful boys. I was with them for about 1.5 years, and they were very young, and I had a wonderful relationship with them, because I have 2 sons, and I felt like, well, we were just growing up all over again together. And I wasn't with them when they were in trouble and whatever was unfolding, so that I really can't participate in that. I really can't.
Sure. I was just asking because we had been discussing how an awful lot of the kids that grow up in the TV limelight get in trouble, and yet the ones you don't hear about are the ones that I guess are happily married to a minister. And
Sally, I would just like to say that in defense of television and child actors, I mean, I think our kids have turned out fairly well, but kids all over this country are in terrible trouble. A lot of them have been to jail. A lot of them have drug problems. They're not on television. We just don't hear about them. So, you know, I have to defend us just a little bit.
All right. When we come back, Sissy and Jody from the popular TV show Family Affair. They have not seen each other in over 20 years. Today, we're going to put them together And if they hate each other, I'm in real trouble. We'll be right back. That they have a magazine called Teenage Gang Debs that updates readers on the family sitcoms, and it has all this little trivia about the various shows. You say a show like The Brady Bunch deserves more respect. Why?
I think it's a really well-written show, and it's like a community thing that we all grew up with these episodes. In Washington, D.C., it was aired twice a day for years when I was a very young kid.
It's a work of art, right?
It's like the perfect show. It has 6 kids, all different ages. You can relate to any of the kids, and the plots, I think, are really well written and stand up really well today, I think.
Thank you for bringing all this stuff for us. Florence, I'm going to ask you what's going on in your life today.
Well, I would just like to say hi to my 4 wonderful children who make me think I'm a good mother. That pleases me, and my step-grandchild, LJ. As you mentioned, I do Country Kitchen on the Nashville Network. We're starting our 8th year, and also I have a wonderful new product that I'm so thrilled about called Young Again. It's a skincare product, and you'll see it advertised on television, and there'll be a number you can call in and get it, and it really works.
Good enough.
Fabulous.
Question, sir.
Yeah. In the last couple of years, I was privileged to see Charlotte Rae starring off-Broadway and Barry Williams starring on Broadway. I wanted to ask them, do you prefer acting in front of a camera or in front of an audience?
I love it all. I mean, I love it all. The important thing is that God gave me a gift, and I try to work with it and make it better and better. And then what could be better than to share it, no matter what medium, right?
Take a break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm a famous Seamus, and most people don't know your name.
Harry is now touring with the National Company of City of Angels. What happened to the dog Tiger?
He wanted too much money and too many episodes. Simple. Fired him.
Tiger got squished on the way to work. He was hit by a truck, and the trainer came in with a dog that he picked up at the pound, and no one could understand why he wouldn't follow direction. So we ended up taking his collar and nailing the collar down to the set, and then putting him in the collar so he wouldn't move and we'd get the take.
My question's for Barry and Florence. Florence, when you were approached with this book, was it something that you were interested in doing, or you thought maybe I just want to leave the past alone and not bother with it? Or were you glad to do this?
Well, I'm always glad to help anyone. I hope this book is a big success for Barry. Like Barry, I feel so proud of the Brady Bunch, and you know, it's like having a favorite relative. It's a part of my past. I love it.
Florence, I just want to ask you, or comment rather, I've enjoyed your work in films, TV, commercials, but nothing's been said about that beautiful voice of yours that I don't hear enough of. Any plans for the future?
Well, I sing all the time. I travel around the country all the time. I do. Well, I love you. Well, excuse me.
You'll have to go to her. Go ahead.
I love you. I really do.
Take a break. We'll be right back.
Of Sally's show for only $19.95. Call 1-800-FOR-SALLY. 1-800-FOR-SALLY for video cassettes only. For a transcript, send $3 to 1535 Grant Street, Denver, Colorado, 80203. Or call 303-831-9000.
What's neat is the good news, the people who are doing well. Growing Up Brady, there you are. That's the reason we all got together. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Some members of our audience will receive, and a promotional fee has been provided by